Just start by explaining to us the structure of how this actually works. Are people working the same hours, fewer days? How does this work?
Yeah, so basically we at Intrapreneur, we already had a 4-day week for 7 years, so we're kind of like excited to bring this passion now to more companies. And like in the other countries, we will basically focus on 6 months where employees in all these companies will work in a 4-day week. However they do it is very similar depending on the different cultures and different organizations, but the main focus is less work time, so a reduction in work time. Doesn't have to be a full 4-day week, can be a little bit more, a little bit less, but at the same time with the same performance and the same pay for the workers involved.
So same pay. This is also the headline here. And so how did you choose these companies and what problems are these companies trying to solve with this?
Yeah. So in September we started the application process and we got a lot of applications from different companies, and they're basically focused on who can actually be part of the trial, which means bureaucratic challenges had to be issued and thought about, but also can everyone get involved? Do they have enough support also in the company to be a part of that? And out of that we had basically 45 companies that said okay, they want to be a part of that.
And so what are they trying to solve? What are they getting out of it? How do they?
The main challenge is, like you said, the shortage of workers. So they try to figure out, can they do a 4-day week so that then they actually are more attractive at the workforce, basically, to get new
employees. And then so I want to also talk about, so AI is the other great promise of boost of productivity. And of course, technology has been telling us we're not going to work for many, many years, and we're still working. How do you see that fitting into this?
In general, we are looking at digitalization and also AI to actually reduce stress in processes, so that actually there's more time, taken out of the work time, so actually people can have a fifth free day in the workday.
And I'd like to quote to you, if I may, your finance minister, Christian Lindner. He says, "Never in history has a society increased its prosperity by working less." So obviously Germany has a massive labor shortage. Surely, by this logic of many, people need to work more, not less.
Well, in general, I think we need an increase of digitalization and innovation to actually get more prosperity. And I think Christian Lindner is focusing more on a macroeconomic perspective. So if everyone has a 4-day week, obviously we'll have to think about different challenges. But in our test, it's more focused on there are different specific companies who want to outperform their market by actually saying we are better in terms of an employer than someone else. And I think that's the focus here.
And do you think this is a particular challenge in Germany? Because I cannot tell you the number of times unsolicited I've spoken to either people in business or politicians who have basically said the problem with Germany today is people don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, I think that's not focused on Germany, actually. That's something we have all over the world, just a different perspective on work. And it doesn't mean people don't want to work more. They actually want just this to fit in everything else they're doing in their life. And I think that there's a lot of, in this trial, a lot about health and understanding work-life balance better. And so I think in 6 months we'll have a better understanding of what this actually means and how it's looked like.
And so I don't doubt that definitely better work will get done in a 4-day week. Does more work get done in a 4-day week? In the sense, does the productivity gain offset in terms of net output, or is it not necessarily?
We'll see. I mean, in the trials in the other countries, we basically haven't had this massive amount of data to look at it. And now here with University of Münster, we actually look at lots more data points to actually say, is there a productivity increase and how does it look like? So again, in 6 months, we'll see lots of more about that.
And so I'm also struck because Germany is also one of the countries in which people work the least number of hours in the EU. I think only second to, Denmark or something like that. But you're also, one of the arguments is that actually this will attract more people into full-time work if the full-time work is 4 days a week.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perspective of lots of companies to understand, okay, we actually need more full-time workers, but we haven't been attractive for full-time pay and full-time, occupation. And therefore, that's a perspective people look at to see if they can change that.
And I also think that another thing to think about in this, and I wonder how you view this, is that are we in a moment right now where there is a bit of a luxury, where the power is tilted a bit towards the worker, particularly in Germany, because there is such a shortage of skilled labor and that sort of thing. As GDP slows, as unemployment maybe starts to rise, we have seen a lot of job cuts across, at least in the United States, across a lot of businesses. Does that power balance shift, and does this project sort of come into jeopardy, do you think?
I mean, there is this term of the war of talents, right? And obviously we'll see that there's more demands from the talent perspective, but especially in that trial, it's the entrepreneurs, the business owners that say, I want to do this, I want to make this happen for all the reasons that we discussed. So I wouldn't focus it on the trial, but in general, I definitely see that perspective.